Texas and Mississippi takes off the masks. Ohio is next, and Joe Biden still doesn't know he's president. You're watching episode 3.2 of After the Whistle. I'm Coach Moore.
Coach Krieger.
Coach Tester.
Welcome to the show. Gentlemen, how was your week?
It was wonderful.
That was pretty good right there.
Well, it was pretty good, wasn't it? Yeah, I like that.
It was good.
Pretty good one. We've had a pretty good week. We had a good ball game the other night, so that kind of helped start our week off on a good
It's a big win for
foot,
you all.
good move forward. Yeah, big win for Twin Valley. Start the season out with a win is always good, but
Can't go over.
you can't go over now. That's
When
exactly
you win the
right.
first one, you can't go undefeated if you don't win it, and you can't go over if you do win it.
I think they're the sleeper boys.
They had that last week, boys. Don't jump on the wagon now.
Hey, I put them in top 5 last week.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
That's
Yeah, I
after
did.
you looked off of mine.
Yeah, he did.
You got
He
about
did. He
for
looked off of his paper. All right, fellas. Well,
I
first
got a lot of shake up in my picks.
I got a bunch in mine too. I've really turned mine. Don't even look the same. But before we do that, we want to recognize our sponsors: CarQuest Auto Parts, Hurley Pharmacy, Economy Drug, located in the Grundy Plaza, Wooden Horse Grill, Grundy Auto Sales, Buchanan Therapy Services, and Buchanan General Hospital. We would like to thank them for sponsoring our program, and appreciate you patronizing them. All right, the first thing up tonight is we have Buchanan Therapy Services, last week's recap, brought to you by BTS, and we're going to look at those games. Have you found them yet?
No.
He's still looking for those games. That
We
is
can make them up.
last week's recap. We can make them up as we go, it says.
Thank you.
Well, first thing I'm going to do is we're going to talk about that game we just mentioned. Twin Valley, Thomas Walker, Bristol Herald Courier comes out with a 27-7 prediction in favor of Thomas Walker, and Tim Hayes and the boys over there, they missed that one.
I tried to tell Tim the week that they predicted Hurley to lose their first game.
What was that saying?
He'll start listening. Tim Hayes, you hear that?
I
You start
tried to
listening.
tell him.
I was there at the game. It was actually a very enjoyable game to watch. I think you watched a little bit of it there.
I did. It was a good, hard-fought game. Both teams were playing well in the first half, and you could tell by the end of the half that halftime come pretty good for Thomas Walker at the time, and they needed that break. But Isaiah Boyd too much for Thomas Walker. Too much. 18
carries, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Twin Valley's defense played really well as well, but they fell behind early 6-0. 45-yard touchdown run by the quarterback Kidwell, and it didn't look good right out of the gate there for them. But for the most part, after that, they held them in check all night long.
Defensively, you couldn't ask.
No, that was an excellent defensive performance, and that's the kind of game you want. You know, at the end of the game, they were eating up the clock. And we talked about this, a strong run game and a solid defense is going to win games for you. Probably a little closer than they wanted it to be at 12-6, but they were able to seal the deal with a big stop there in the fourth quarter, and then they pretty much just ran the clock out after that.
Well, guys, I don't know, but just by looking at these guys, I've seen them, some of them on the basketball court, and I've seen some of them, they passed the eye test.
Oh, yeah.
They passed the eye test.
Not the face test, though.
Yeah,
You looked at them up close, you know what I'm talking about.
They
passed the eye test, no doubt about it.
So,
As Coach Van Dyke once said, I know, was it Coach, it was Coach, who was that? West that once said they're big, but they've got big arms.
yeah.
I don't know what that means, but you look at them, these boys have been pumping the weights, they've been working hard in the off season, and as Coach Stiltner said after the ball game, this is why you do it.
And it showed.
Yeah, it showed up front.
I thought they played well for it to be their first game. I mean, a lot of people struggled in their first game, and I thought they played really well, and it paid off.
A big win for them, and I'll mention also, I think Dalton White ended up with about 9 solos and 3 or 4 assists. Played really well, I thought, at the middle backer spot, and I thought Connor Welch played well also. So shout out to Twin Valley, big win for them. I know Coach Ward and the crew's excited. They got a big game coming up with Holston this Saturday at 1 o'clock, and Holston's going to be a real test for them.
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at some other games here, Coach.
All right, we have Hurley at Eastside. And guys, I was at that game, and you talk about passing the eye test. Eastside passed the eye test, but Hurley played very well defensively. Offensively, we moved the ball, but just couldn't get it in the end zone, and the final score was 15-0 there.
Rebels, that game was closer than I think a lot of people thought.
I think it was too. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be really lopsided. You know, I was at the game alongside Krieger here. We was talking, and Hurley got the ball first series and just ran it down their throat. Went to about the 10 and stalled out. They got down there
9 minutes. I think the drive was like 9 minutes.
Which that's the style of football that they're going to have to play. You know, they're not a big play team. They're 3-4 yards cloud of dust come at your team, and they drove down there twice, but just couldn't get it in. But you got to give credit to Eastside, man. They hung tough and stopped Hurley down there when they needed to. So,
all right.
Got some good-looking kids, though. They had big 66.
And to feed off in the second half, Hurley came off shutting Eastside out. So that's a plus that you can, it's a coaching, you can go in the locker room and, I mean, a loss is a loss. You never want to lose a game, but you got to always find out positives to.
Not taking anything away from Eastside, but I was really surprised that Hurley hung that close with them. So.
All right, what else you got?
All right, we have Chihay at Marion. And guys, I mean, we're on the Chihay wagon, and we all three picked them. You could say this was a mild upset.
14-5. I think Chihay picked up a safety here in the fourth quarter or something like that. Coach Tim Smith, I know that's big for him. I've been over there. Matter of fact,
you've been everywhere.
I was on the sideline with him I say the last time. It wasn't the last time that Marion beat him, but I remember being there when Coach Smith.
I'll give Tim a big shout out. He's my former UVA Wise teammate. Played at UVA Wise.
So I know that's a big win for him, and you know they struggled a lot last year, and so being able to pick up that win was huge.
Absolutely.
For Marion.
Big win for Marion.
Yes, big time.
All right, next game I see here the scores: Ridgeview 42, Lehigh 0.
About what
we thought.
Yeah, about what we thought on that one. Not going to say a whole lot about that game. I think all three of us picked Ridgeview across the board. Wolfpack back in the win column, and looks like they got the thing rolling pretty well.
Yeah, easy win for the Wolfpack. All right, let's see. Next game, we've got the Palmer Patrons against the Big R.
I'll tell you what, boy, they laid a whooping on them.
Well, I think it was close there at first. A pretty good game.
It was up at the end of the second half.
In the second half, it got kind of away from them. I had a few of my buddies tell me that Richlands had a couple that outplayed Bradshaw and some of the other ones, and I think Sage Webb was one of them. Said he played pretty daggone good. I mean, I know the score don't
it was closer
say that,
than
but
what
it was
you
a close.
Said closer than what you expected.
I said 40, and I'm backpedaling on that. But 20, Graham's still the team to beat. I mean, they set the tone, but they get to play one more time. They play at the end of the season. They're playing twice this year.
And that's going to be interesting to watch what changes between now and then, the revenge factor, pride factor, and how well the teams improve.
Well, this is I guess my source didn't lie. I mean, I hadn't seen, me, I didn't do my reading or anything, but Sage Webb had 91 rushing yards and 36 receiving yards for Richlands, and Bradshaw had 56 rushing yards and 90 receiving for the G-men. So that's pretty good right there.
He just said he got an offer from Notre Dame.
Bradshaw did, and
Sage
got one for Army,
and previously got one from Air Force.
And Air Force.
Yeah,
good deal.
So some athletes on the field there.
Absolutely, that'd be a good game to go pick up next time.
Hey guys, right here, Riverheads and Tazewell. Riverheads 28, the Bulldogs 17, and the Bulldogs was leading.
Yes, the Bulldogs. I'm telling you, like Coach Krieger says, they lost the ball game. But when you go back and look at this for Tazewell, this is a good indication. And I'm thinking that Tazewell Richlands game is going to mean something this time around.
You're
That's
right.
going to be big. So
You're
Tazewell a big step in the right direction there. I mean, they actually had to lead late in the game on that.
You won't drive up there to play them if you didn't think you had a little bit for them.
That's true.
All right, and all right, we've got Y Central, and their game was canceled due to COVID. John Battle, I think, had a positive test, if I'm not mistaken, and they had to cancel this week and next week, and I think they play Ridgeview next week.
So they're looking at 2 weeks then.
They're looking at 2 weeks of Ridgeview Wise didn't play and Ridgeview did play. I don't know how that works.
It'll be this week that they're supposed to play Ridgeview this week.
And they're not playing.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to, I don't know how it's going to impact the ratings, but usually when you play fewer games, that's a plus for you. But in this case, the fact that they're not going to get to play you or get to play Wise and then turn around and not play Ridgeview, let's hypothetically say Ridgeview picks up a win, that's points that you're not going to get.
Absolutely.
So this could turn out to be a factor.
And here's the deal:
playoffs.
they say Abingdon is no points for anybody in win or lose right now.
And they're AAA?
They said, well, according to a buddy, told me that it's not going to matter the win or lose for Abingdon. It's like it's not even playing them. So why are we playing them?
I agree.
You know?
I haven't heard anything about anything like that, so that's news to me. We'll check that out.
Yeah.
That could be it's interesting.
Next game we've got Virginia High and Grundy, and guys, very, very close. I had to. I think Scarberry intercepted the ball there at close to the end of the game and got tackled at the 1 and kind of fumbled it into the end zone for a touchback. Or Grundy had Virginia High on the ropes, but they come up short, 19-12.
Yeah, they had. From what I gathered, the game was pretty much close throughout. Grundy was never out of the game, and then had a chance there at the end. So that was a little bit of a shocker to me. I thought Virginia High would maybe win that by a couple of scores, and they didn't. So it's hats off to Grundy there.
Closer than we expected.
Yes. Roll Retreat, George Wythe was postponed. I don't know why. I didn't see the reason on that. I'm sure it was COVID related.
Yep.
We have Abingdon and
Now Lebanon.
Gate City.
Abingdon and Gate City.
Abingdon and Gate City.
And that was played right after the Grundy game at Tennessee High. And I think that final was ended up, 62 to 40 or 20?
62-20.
Looks, and running back looked good for Abingdon.
Well,
Pretty good.
Par for the course. I mean, all of us picked Abingdon. We thought Abingdon would win. I'm not surprised by the score now, having seen that the battle upended Gate City last week. But early on, I would have thought that this game would have been a little bit closer score. But Gate City may not be the team that I thought they were originally.
Just by watching on film, Abingdon is just so much bigger, physical.
Yeah.
And more
All right, we have Holston and PH. I think Holston come out on top 20-14 or 20-12 on that game. Close game, but it looks like PH is rebuilding.
It's the first time in 6 years or 7. I think it's 6 years, first time that Holston has won this game. So Coach Patterson, I think that might be the first time he's got a W against them. So that's I know he's on cloud 9 because that's a big rivalry game there.
And you know what? I just figured out, guys, we didn't pick the Thomas Walker Twin Valley
We
game.
didn't when you were sitting there saying that.
When we was talking about it. Well, boys, I can't do it all.
Hey, these two lied and said he picked them.
I did say it.
All right.
Last game here, we got Lebanon and Honeacre, guys, and again, Honeacre did get in the end zone, and I think it was 27-6. Lebanon, never any doubt. Like I said, Honeacre's in a rebuilding stage. It looks like, and
Yeah, that was all across the board. We all
the Cole. What is it? The Cole Trophy, the Cole Bowl goes back to Lebanon.
Yep, and that's Lebanon has needed that win last couple of years, so that's a big win for them over there. It's a huge rivalry game. Honeacre's starting the season out 0-2 is very uncharacteristic, like you said. Coach Hubbard's bunch usually are in the thick of it. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Which are not out of it yet.
No,
I mean,
they're
district play starts this week, so
Go ahead and write them off. Write them off. You're writing them off.
No, I'm not writing them off.
Go ahead.
I just know I
I'm
picked
not.
Twin Valley last week, and y'all picked Thomas Walker.
Yeah. All right, that's all the games we have. Recap from last week's pretty good week of football. Up next,
We
we
forgetting
have.
somebody. Somebody else played.
Well, somebody probably did, but we didn't pick
No,
them.
not all local. That's all local except we missed
Has George Witt played anybody?
no.
I don't think so.
They were open the first week and got this one postponed.
All right, so we have it there. All right, so also next up on our agenda here is we have brought to you by Reverend Billy Jack Baker's This, That, and Everything Tuxedo Rental, Tool Repair, and Whatnot Emporium brings us the conspiracy of the week. And the conspiracy of the week this week is that the Titanic did not sink. It was actually a sister ship called the Olympic that had damage done to it, and the owners put the ship out there and sank it in order to collect the insurance money. And that's the conspiracy of the week. So if that's the case, then the real Titanic is out there somewhere.
I know this. The Denver airport is a hideout for the Illuminatis.
All right, on to our next segment. Brought to you by the Wooden Horse Grill in Hurley, Virginia, is our Big Talk segment. And our Big Talk segment this week, a couple minutes here, fellas, we're going to be talking about what about these COVID cancellations? What are we going to,
Well, you're going to see more of them. And they won. Let it be. Take the mask off. Let's live.
Here's the deal. If you're going to play football, we're going to play football. If we're not going to play football over a case, we're going to have to shut her down. I mean, that's where I'm at with it. I mean, if you've made the decision to play football, let's play football.
I'm on board 100% because I believe when it comes
Didn't
to
we get vaccinated? Half the people been vaccinated, so why we...
Well, now I got vaccinated. Did you get vaccinated?
No, yeah.
Did you get vaccinated? I got vaccinated. I will say this. I woke up 3 hours later naked in the woods. I was covered in blood, but I now have a bearskin rug in my living room. So, it worked out all well. I don't remember much.
No wonder your wife trying to get that number to cancel people.
Yeah. No, all seriousness, I agree with you, Coach Tester, that with these extracurricular activities, you are making that choice to move ahead and play. Let's play the games.
Yeah.
And they're not much worried about it because one little letter they wrote to the governor opened football up from 25 fans to 250 in 2 days. So they ain't.
Well, and here's I'll give you even a better scenario. I know this sounds ridiculous, but we're putting it in perspective here. If you agree with us, that's fine. If you don't, well, that's fine too. But if you had somebody singing at a football game, then it would be considered entertainment and not a sporting event, and you could allow 1,000 visitors. Now, the reason I say that, I mean, that's the way it is. 1,000 people if it is entertainment, but it's 250 if it's a
We
spectator
can have a
sport.
concert outside with
Yeah.
1,000
For
people.
1,000 people.
And Pulaski County is actually piggybacked off of, I ain't gonna say off this concept, but they figured out a way to get their band, their
Yeah, I've
cheerleaders,
seen that.
and their football parents all at the game at the same time. And, visitors aren't going to be able to come or anything like that, but they have managed to be able to get all these people at the game and still within the confines of the 250. Well,
You'll have to read it. It's a
you
big
have to
thing.
read
They
some big
done.
articles in the Roanoke Times this week.
It is, and they done it
And
too.
they managed to pull it off. So there's ways around this stuff, but it's just the inconsistencies, I guess, is what the problem is. And it would be, I think it's going to be very bad if a team gets bumped from the playoffs
because of that.
because of this. And
Well, you're looking at Wise and Ridgeview. What if somebody else gets it in the next couple of weeks? There's 2 games they don't play. 2 pretty daggone good football teams.
And that's a unique scenario. If something like that happens, plus the fact that they didn't get to play battle, all of a sudden you're looking at playing 2 games possibly in a regular season.
Absolutely.
And look at college football. You got a team with 6 wins playing for the national championship. So, all right, so that's our Big Talk segment brought to you by the Wooden Horse Grill over in Hurley, Virginia. If you haven't ever stopped by, it's Buchanan County's best kept secret. Food's so good, make your tongue want to slap your brains out. Stop and check out some of the fine entrees they've got over there at the Wooden Horse Grill. All right, up next on the show, we have brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts, the peak performance of the week. And this week's peak performance is a young man from Wise Central. Coach, you want to tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah, the guy's a back-to-back. I think he just won the state championship in the 55-meter hurdles, and he has won it 2 years in a row back-to-back. Maddox Reynolds from Wise Central. He won it as a freshman, I think, with maybe a time of like a 7.8, and he just ran yesterday, and I think ran a 7.8 again, and it looked like in the video nobody was even close.
Now
to
he
him.
smoked him. He
So,
was people.
big congratulations to Maddox, man, back-to-back state champion.
I wish they'd
55
had that
hurdles.
indoor track back in. I can run that 7.8. I don't know about jumping them hurdles, but
Yeah, if only, right?
if only.
If only. All right. Well, there you go.
Congratulations, Reynolds.
Congratulations, Reynolds, on that one. State champ, 55 meters. All right. Next segment brought to you by Economy Drug, located in the Grundy Plaza. Economy Drug is your hometown pharmacy, friendly faces, and fast service. Stop by and check out the folks at the Economy Drug. And they bring us our Did You Know segment. Our Did You Know segment. Did you know, well, first let me ask you this question. Who won the first Super Bowl?
Packers.
Who won the second Super Bowl?
Packers.
Wrong, okay? Technically, yes. The first game was called the AFL NFL Championship game. Packers defeated the Chiefs. The second one was called the AFL NFL Championship game. The third one was actually the first one to ever be called the Super Bowl. Okay, we just went back and counted those
Packers
first two.
again.
So no, Super Bowl. Super Bowl III was Joe Namath.
That was
Joe Namath.
the guaranteed.
The guaranteed win.
The
Joe
guaranteed win it all.
The name Super Bowl came from Lamar Hunt, who the Lamar Hunt Trophy is named after, the former owner of the
That
Kansas
one
City
Tom Brady
Chiefs.
threw off that boat.
No, that was the Lombardi Trophy. But Lamar Hunt, his daughter had some silly putty in a ball, and she kept calling it her Super Bowl. And he come up with the idea to call it a Super Bowl, proposed it to the league,
Did
and
that
they
stick?
adopted it. It stuck. Did it ever? Sure did. So there you go, the history of the Super Bowl.
Make flubber.
And remember that movie?
I loved it.
That was a good one. All right, so that's your Did You Know, brought to you by Economy Drug. All right, up next, we're going to introduce our Bellacino'S Player of the Week, and we'll be back right after this with him.
All right, guys, we're here with our Bellacino'S Player of the Week. Isaiah Boyd from Twin Valley High School had 18 carries, 207 yards rushing this week against Thomas Walker. Big win for the Twin Valley Panthers, and I just want to say congratulations, man. And I know it's been a weird off season. I think like y'all's whole team was quarantined for a week or two, probably 3 or 4 days of practice. And just tell me what it feels like coming out and pulling the win off after all this.
Man, being quarantined definitely set us back, and we knew that we had to come out ready, focused, ready to play. It was practice we did get, so we just came out focused, and we knew we could win.
Good deal, man. Like Isaiah Boyd, like I said, I'm going to say it again, 18 carries, 207 yards, Twin Valley High School. Big win for the Twin Valley Panthers over Nick Johnson's team from Thomas Walker. The guys, you know, I've watched these guys, Twin Valley, over the off season, spending a lot of time in the weight room, and they're a team to watch this year in the Black Diamond District. But so we might be seeing this guy a few more times this year. So big congratulations to Isaiah Boyd from Twin Valley High School. Thank you, man. What was you saying, Lois? My bad.
All right, welcome back to the show. Congratulations to our Bellacino'S Player of the Week, Isaiah Boyd. Up next, we have our Hurley IGA Top 5, brought to you by Hurley IGA, located in Hurley, Virginia. Sandwich trays, meat trays, vegetable trays, fruit trays, and the area's absolute best selection of fresh meat anywhere you can get. Stop by and see the fine folks at Hurley IGA.
There's one thing about it, guys. You can't beat IGA's meat.
All right, top 5, fellas. Hurley IGA's top 5. We'll go with 1A starting out. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. See what
1A got a little shake up in 1A.
Who you got?
Twin Valley moves up
To work.
in my poll, but number 5, Holston, with a win over PH out there at number 5. Number 4 is George Wythe. Don't know where to put them. They haven't played yet.
Me,
So I got them at number 4. And number 3, the Twin Valley Panthers, with the big win over Thomas
I don't
Walker.
think they've ever been in the top 3 in any of our categories. All right. So
That's big right there. Number 2, Royal Retreat, still 1-0. Jamie Hughes and company up there, boys. Still playing. And at number 1, guys, I'm still riding it out with J.I. Burton.
All right, it's pretty good 1A. I'll go with mine next. I've had a bunch of changes in my 1A. Number 5, I've got Twin Valley moving in, number 5 spot. I still want to see them do a little bit more before I move them up, so that's a challenge to them. Number 4, I've got Holston. So there you go. There's their opportunity right now. They want to move up. They just got to move the guy in front of them out of the way. Number 3, I'm going to move the Chilhowee Warriors.
Shoot, after a loss?
Into number 3, yeah. And
they've only scored 14 points in 2 games.
That's true, 14. That's very uncharacteristic.
Yes.
So Chilhowee at number 3, and I've got the Castlewood Blue Devils at number 2. I moved them up. I really think that team is hot.
You're right, and actually that's my number 4. I should have put in there because George Wythe hasn't played
this week.
Burton played. It's a good question.
Burton didn't play.
No,
I got Burton at number 1, and people say, "Well, Burton lost to Chilhowee." I'm telling you, just hang tight with Burton. So I got Castlewood at 2 and Burton at 1. Round them out. Twin Valley, Holston, Chilhowee, Castlewood, and Burton at 1.
I forgot about Castlewood.
I believe you looked off my paper here.
No.
So at number 5, guys, I got the Twin Valley Panthers creeping in at number 5, just like Coach Moore over here. I'm going to wait a little bit and see what happens on this Holston game. Right now, I got the Holston Cavaliers at number 4. That could change here next week. Is that next week?
Saturday.
That could change Saturday, so we'll see what's up. Number 3, I still got Jacob Cottle's J.I. Burton Raiders at number 3. I dropped them a spot, but I still think they're going to be there in the end, but I'm keeping them around right now. So number 2, I still got the Chilhowee Warriors at number 2.
He's got the Castlewood.
Number 1, I'm going with Coach Lark's Castlewood Blue Devils at number 1. Right now, the most impressive team in single A is Castlewood.
All right.
Yeah, and that's my number 4. GW hasn't played. I don't know why.
Well, I haven't seen GW.
Yeah, I was going to say I bumped them out because they hadn't played.
Yeah, well, Castlewood is my number 4.
Castlewood.
All right, my 2A guys. Nothing's really changed. Got Tazewell at 5, Ridgeview at 4. Still giving Union too much credit at number 3. Way too much credit. They don't deserve to be number 3 at this point right now, but I still got them at number 3.
Gift.
As a gift. It's a gift. I mean, I just feel bad for them kids over there. I have to go to practice every day with Coach Bostic and Coach Turner over there. I mean,
it is what it is.
I know. I'm giving them too much credit. Too much. But Union at number 3. I still got Palmer Patron after the big win over Big R. And I'm not saying that I got a message or did get a message or didn't get a message from some people that was on the Patron. I don't know what I got that day. It was a blur because I smelled it through the phone.
Through the phone.
Yes. But the alcohol level was up there.
Was it powerful?
Palmer Patron.
It was powerful Patron from Palmer Patron. But I still got them at number 2 there, and I've got the Y Central Warriors at number 1 after their big forfeit this weekend against John S. Battle.
It's I don't know. I ain't gonna even go. All right, my 2A top 5. I've got Ridgeview Wolfpack, big win this week, 42-0 over Lee. Put them at number 5. I think they're starting to climb back to the top here. Tazewell Bulldogs, even though they lost, I got them at number 4. I think Tazewell is a team that is, their time is now. It's now or never for the Bulldogs. Union, I've got them at number 3, so they stay in the same spot I had them last week. At number 2, I've got the Central Warriors, and number 1, I've got the Graham G-Men. So they're still there as number 1, or as you would say,
Palmer's Patron.
Palmer's Patron.
All right,
Top shelf.
Number 5. The Union Bears slid down to number 5 for me this week. So
They should be out of mine.
So I'm going with Union at number 5 and the Tazewell Bulldogs after their near upset of Riverheads. I was impressed with that, so I'm going with them at number 4. Still got the Wolfpack of Ridgeview at number 3. Still got the Central Warriors at number 2, and Palmer's Patron still ringing in at number 1.
All right, so 2 of us got Graham at number 1, and you had Wise at number 1. So we're pretty consistent. We've got the same 1 and 2s, just all of us don't have them exactly the same. All right, so that rounds out our IGA top 5 in 1A and 2A. Up next is that moment that everybody waits for every week, where we attempt to stump the Crig, and it's brought to you by Grundy Auto Sales, located in Grundy, Virginia. Stop by and see them for a fine selection of new and used automobiles. In addition to that, they also have tires, wheels, and a bunch of other services that they provide to their customers. That's Grundy Auto Sales. And here we are, Coach. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Once again, we have journeyed into this place where we will attempt to stump the Crig. I have in my hand a hermetically sealed envelope that has been under the watchful care of armed security for the last 7 days. Nobody has seen this. It was delivered shortly, just a few hours ago, by Brink's Armored Truck. And now we have it. You have not seen this envelope, nor do you know the question. Is that correct?
That's right, absolutely.
All right, so here we go. The question is, how does a person with a lisp pronounce the word lisp?
Very carefully. Very carefully. Final answer.
All right.
That's messed up.
We have failed once again to stump the Crig. I accept that answer. All right, that is your final answer.
Final answer. Very
All right.
carefully.
Once again, we have come up short, but thanks to the folks at Grundy Auto Sales, we'll keep trying again next week. All right, gentlemen, here we are. It's time for our pigskin prognostications, brought to you by Buchanan General Hospital. Folks, they've been serving Buchanan County with quality health care and a staff dedicated, full of dedicated professionals for several years. Our mainstay in Buchanan County. If your family needs any medical assistance, stop by and check out the fine folks at Buchanan General Hospital. Yeah, all right. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's rock and roll. Let's get our picks.
What are we doing?
Our picks next week.
All right, first one on the board is Friday, March 5th, 7 p.m. We've got Royal Retreat at Patrick Henry.
Rural Retreat at Patrick Henry. Say it again.
Royal Retreat at Patrick Henry, Glade Springs.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to Royal Retreat on this. Royal Retreat. And I think it could. I think it's going to be close at first. But I think Royal Retreat pulls away. I think Jamie Hughes and staff and Tim Burke will be ready to rumble, boys.
All right, I agree with you. I'm going with Rural Retreat as well.
Who did they beat last week or the week before?
Rural Retreat beat Fort Chisel.
Fort Chisel.
Chisel, excuse me.
That's enough for me to go with Royal Retreat on this one, I think.
Okay. By the way, in our pigskin. Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
Royale.
We'll come back to that. Go ahead there, Coach.
All right, next game at 7 p.m. Friday, Northwood at Chihai. And I'm going. I really want to pick Northwood on this one, but I'm going to go with Chihai 9-6.
9-6. I'm going to pick Chihai 5-3.
I'm going to pick Chihai, but I ain't picking the score.
5-3. That's what I'm saying.
Next game on the.
I got Chihai.
Next game on the docket, we have Abingdon, the Big A.
Abington
At Wise Central Warriors in Wise, Virginia.
What do you got, Critter?
Boys,
Come on.
Wise is number one in my poll. Wise, they great team this year. Run the ball, they can keep the ball from you. I'm going to go with Abingdon.
Why?
All right. I think they just got the numbers advantage. I will say this, if Y Central wins, they run the table. But I don't think they do. I'm going with Abingdon on this one.
Well, yeah, some
Bulletin board, boys. Put it up there. If the Krieger don't got you
Well, I
number
think
one,
it's going
don't
to be a
touch you.
very, very tight game.
I agree with you 100%.
And I think the Central Warriors defense will come through in a 14-12 ball game.
All right, 14-12. We'll write that down right here, just in case. Just in case.
No, hold on, Adam's got a pretty good field goal kicker. Let me change that.
All right, Coach, what's next?
All right, next one we've got the John S. Battle Ridgeview postponed. It's postponed.
Yeah, that one will not be played.
Will not be played. And now we go to Saturday, March 6th. We have big game here, boys. It's homecoming. Lebanon at Graham. This is going to be. This might be game of the week. I'm going with the G-Man. Palmer's Patron. They'll probably do the Patron before the game.
Well, I'm going to go with Graham on this. They're not losing the homecoming game. And no offense to Lebanon, but they're not going to lose to Lebanon either. So.
I'm with you. I'm going with Graham.
All right, game at 1 o'clock. Another homecoming game. Holston at Twin Valley. And boys, I've got them up there at number 3. I'm going with the Twin Valley Panthers. They play keep away. Isaiah Boyd will get the ball 30 times this week. And they win.
I'll say this. If he gets the ball at least 25 times, they win. If he doesn't, they don't win. So,
I'm talking Shannon Adams carries.
Yeah, I'm putting the pressure on a minimum of 25 carries. I think they win the ball.
Can I phone a friend?
No.
Can I phone a friend real quick?
I'm going to take Twin Valley as well, and I think it'll be considered an upset.
Where's Coach Ward? Coach Ward.
That's a good question.
I'm going to be with you this week. If Isaiah Boyd gets 25 carries, they win the ball game. If he don't,
Why couldn't y'all say 30? Why y'all make me?
if he don't get that, they lose the ball game.
Okay, so you're going.
So I'm going with the Twin Valley Panthers.
All right, across the board. I don't know if that's ever happened.
No, that's big. I mean, and that's the truth.
Yeah, and Holston's
I
little
watched
boy,
it.
right?
The eye test was there. Isaiah ran like a senior. Ran like a beast. I mean, he ran hard. And they beat Holston Saturday.
All right, we'll see.
All right, next game we got Richlands, the Big R at Virginia High. And I'm going with the Big R, guys. Sage Webb has field day against Virginia High.
You got any of that
I was getting ready.
bad Wells
You took-
lotion over?
And
well, I heard.
speaking of that,
Go ahead.
Speaking of that, condolences out to Coach Wells. I got a text saying that one of his best friends that coached with him at Blacksburg was on his way to watch him play and got killed in a car wreck at Tazewell.
That's tragic.
And our condolences out to Coach Wells and the team there and the guy's family that wrecked. I don't know his name, but I know that he was on his way to watch Coach Wells play Graham, and he was in a car accident in Tazewell and passed away.
Our condolences to that family as well. All right, I'm going to go with Big R here on this one. I agree with you. I think it's going to be the Sage Webb show. He could very well be our peak performer of the week, and I'm calling it before the game's ever played.
I agree with you. I'm going with Big R.
Well, after looking at his stats against Graham, I mean, he needs to carry it 30 times. He needs to touch the ball 30 times Saturday, and it'll be a big day for the Big R. All right, next game we have Marion at Tazewell. Marion coming off a huge victory. Tazewell. I think.
Why are you on the Tazewell train now?
Because I seen them over at Hurley pick up that defense they left over there.
I want to pick Marion in this one,
No,
but they're
you
going to
don't.
have to. I do want to, but I ain't. I'm going to pick Tazewell. I ain't. Yeah. I'm going to pick Tazewell, but I'd like to see Marion, get another win under her belt there before I start maybe going out.
So
on
you
a
pick
limb.
Marion?
So no, I'm gonna pick Tasman. I said I'd like to see him get one more.
I'm going with the Bulldogs too.
Across the board, Tasman.
All right, next game we've got Union at Great City. Well, Great City's due, and Union coming in there not playing. I mean, not coached well and stuff. And
What's in the backpack?
I'm going with Union.
Union.
Yeah, Union wins. I forgot about the backpack.
I forgot all about it too. Whatever's in that backpack.
backpack?
Well, that's one of them conspiracies.
That's what we'll talk about one day.
Some
We
people think-
didn't walk on the moon, and the backpack conspiracy at Union.
Union. That's as good. I mean, that's like the JFK one and the moon landing. I mean, it's the same thing. What is in the backpack? But I'm going with Union also. Why?
That's a tough one, boys.
They may have something to do with the backpack.
I think I'm going to go with Travis Turner on this one and the Union Bears.
Bears.
They had a week off this week, so
Gate City seems to not
Rebuild.
be trying to.
well,
They got no identity right now, I don't think.
well.
They're off
I was
yet.
told too that they've had a bunch. COVID hit them,
Yeah.
and they had a bunch of people out and just now practicing. I mean, it's a hard year, boys. It's a tough year on everybody. All right, we got.
I'll make her with it.
I think so.
All right, we got. All right, we got J.I. Burton
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
at Castlewood.
That's going to be a slobber knocker.
Let's put that as game of the week
I think it's a game.
because they're on top of both of our Norton's up there on top, and this is our game of the week. And boys, I've got them at number 1, and John I. Burton in a close one.
Okay. I want to pick Castlewood also, but I agree with Coach Krieger. You got to kind of knock those teams off before you can get on up there. So I'm going to go with Burton, but I think it's going to be a good one. Let's put it this way: Castlewood wins that game. I'm a believer. I'll be a really strong
you're going to be
believer.
a believer.
I'll be
You're
a real
going to be a
strong
believer. Boys, I wouldn't have them at number 1 if they wasn't going to knock them off. So I believe the Castlewood Blue Devils is going to run the football, play physical, and get it done
All right,
against J.I. Burton.
that's pretty good. It's going to be interesting to see how this one turns out. All right,
All right, we've got.
should have Homeacre Hurley.
We've got a bunch.
We don't need them.
We got Twin Springs at Eastside playing at Y Central.
What about Twin Springs? What have they done?
I know last year they ran it at
Have they
you,
played this
ran
year?
at you and ran it at you.
Have they played this year?
No, I don't think.
Our game with them got canceled.
No, they were supposed to play Twin Valley and it got canceled and moved. So they haven't played. I'm going to, guys, with the eye test and what I've seen, and this one's going to be played on turf, I think the quarterback from Eastside has a big game, and I think Eastside wins the game. Just, I haven't seen, not Twin Springs play.
Going with the eye test and what I've seen, I'm going to pick Twin Springs.
Okay. I'm going to pick Twin Springs also. I think Coach Warner them gets the win, and I think that ground game will be strong on that.
66 will,
I mean, I'm-
63.
They passed the eye test, but
Eastside's defensive line is pretty daggone good.
All right.
Not saying that Twin Springs can't win that game.
Yeah.
All right. Thomas Walker at Rye Cove.
it's tough.
I've seen Tom Walker.
I've seen Rye Cove and Tom Walker.
What do you think?
Well, let's go. We're
I think it's at Rye Cove. I'm going with Rye Cove. I'm going with the big back, moving the ball just like Isaiah did on him. Come on, Nick. You got to prove me wrong.
I tell you what, I'm going to go with Tom Walker on this one. I think they're going to be looking for a rebound from this game, and they'll correct some things and get back in the win column.
I'm going with Nick Johnson on this one.
Come on, Cheyenne. I can pick up a game here.
All right.
Come on, Rhodes. I can pick another game up. You heard them. Finally, boys, George Wythe at Bland. George Wyeth.
Well, you're good, but I'm glad to hear Bland. I'm glad to hear that name.
That they're playing football.
Yeah, very glad to hear that. I'm going to go with GW on this one also.
GW.
Across the board.
All right, last game, Honeacre at the Clift. I'm going with the Rebels, boys. Keeping the ball from Honeacre. Last week, the Rebels had 2 or 3 times that they had over a 7-minute drive, and if we can do that, but you have to get it in the end zone. Got to find a way to get it in the end zone if we do early.
You don't have Moore's on Homemaker. You know he's going to Homemaker.
They even say he'll lay beside. What is it?
Hard work.
Yeah,
he'll Hubbard dog.
He ain't seen hard work. He wouldn't lay beside. Is that right?
I am not afraid of hard work. I'll lay right down beside it.
They say he's got a Hubbard dog at his house.
Well, I do have a Hubbard 8x10, autographed Hubbard 8x10 at my house with a big Honeacre Tiger helmet. I've got Heath Miller's practice jersey. Nobody knew that. They knew now. Had it for several years. But boys, I'm starting to think Hurley's going to pull this thing off. From what I'm hearing, I'm going to pick the Rebels. The fact that it's at the Clift.
Good pick, man. Good
I'm
pick.
going with the Rebels.
I think this is going to be a slobber knocker. And is this at Hurley?
Yeah.
This is at Hurley, too. Going to be in the mud. So I'm going to go with the Rebels.
What mud?
I'm going to be with the Rebels.
No,
They got that field turf over now in that corner. they patched that corner up.
All right, well, that's all of our games this week. Got all of them took care of, knocked out. Once again, our game of the week, Burton and Castlewood. Krieger and I have Burton. You got Castlewood, so that ought to be a good one to watch. A lot of good football opportunities for everybody. Weather holds up. Seems like some of the fields are holding up, so hopefully we can.
And no rain in the forecast.
It's a good sign. Anything else? Any parting shots before we wrap up the show?
Good to go.
You're good to go? All right, until next time, folks, I'm Coach Moore.
Coach Tester.
Coach Krieger.
Reminding you that elevators smell different to midgets.